What's up, film fans? It's Epic Film Guy Nick here at the New York studio. Justin now being down in Virginia, doing his own thing down there. Of course, Epic Film Guys rolls on as ever it will. And this is a little new segment I want to start doing where I'm going to just talk about news. I'm going to talk about films I've seen, just do some brief reviews, stuff like that. And first thing I wanted to talk about is the big news today. Of course, the Jurassic World trailer has landed. We were supposed to get it Thanksgiving. Boom, there it is. And I'm really excited for this. This trailer hits a lot of the right notes for me. I really think it's taken the story in a really good direction, with the park, of course, now being open to the public. And, you know, there's this massive crowd there, and people can ride in these. They did this little like bubble car thing next to the brachiosaurs wandering around in the field there. And it riffs definitely on the themes of the first film, that this can't be controlled, with exception of the raptors and the motorcycle shot. I'm sorry, I hate that shot. I think it's terrible. I think it's terrible, and I think it flies in the face of the themes of the Jurassic Park films. That this, you know, this is prehistoric. This is something that you can't control. This chaos, as Dr. Malcolm would so clearly put it in the first film. And I'm sorry, unless that scene's followed by Pratt getting eaten by the raptors. You know, I'm sure Justin has already talked to me about this back and forth. I'm sure it'll devolve and the raptors, you know, they'll lose control of them too. Because they're obviously riffing that same theme, that it can't be controlled here with this new dinosaur, whatever it is. And yeah, I hate Pratt's line delivery there too. But the score here, just that piano score, that Williams score from the first film, and Giacchino here just does the light piano riff on it, and it sent chills down my spine. The second half of this trailer really just floored me. I can't wait for this to come out, and I'm super duper excited about it. I'm going to pause it right on the money shot here. Here they come. Wait, there's the raptors, and yep, there he is. There's Pratt. Yeah, right in the motorcycle among the raptors. He's going to be our background as we finish out the video. Actually, no, I'm sorry, I can't even do it. I can't even do it. You know, I'm sorry, it doesn't work for me. A lot of people are like, "Oh my God, it's this awesome thing," and I'm sorry. Other news, what do we got? Matthew McConaughey is going to be Randall Flagg in The Stand, which recently just got blown up to a 4-part adaptation. I am a huge fan of the television miniseries that they did with Gary Sinise, and that was released, you know, ages ago. They had it on Netflix for the briefest time, and I'm so glad I got a chance to catch it again. 1 3-hour film, what they were originally planning, I'm not really sure how they could have pulled that off. But now that they've expanded it into this 4-film series, I couldn't be more excited. I can't wait to see who else they cast in some of the roles. Who's going to play Stu? You know, and I'm really excited for that. Other news, Star Wars trailer is going to get a limited release, an 88-second teaser. Limited release in limited theaters in different places in the country, which I live in Binghamton. I'm not in a market where we're going to get the chance to see the Star Wars trailer. So I'm really hoping that it'll bump up online with an official version so I can watch it in HD. I am about 10 times more excited for that Star Wars trailer than for Jurassic World, for Avengers. The only thing I could probably say I'm more excited about is the Batman Superman trailer that we're supposed to get with The Hobbit. That I can't wait for. But apparently we're getting an 88-second trailer. Well, it's not apparently, it's true. But that said, I want to shift gears a little bit here, and I want to talk about films I did just get a chance to see. And I saw 2 over the past weekend. I caught Mockingjay Part 1, and I finally got a chance to see Birdman. I've been waiting to see that. I've heard so much positive buzz surrounding Keaton's performance, surrounding how visceral the film is. And I'm going to talk about Birdman first because it was by far the better of the 2 films I saw over the weekend. Mockingjay we'll get into, but what floored me the most about Birdman wasn't necessarily its performances. If I had to be as honest as possible here, I mean, Keaton did a good job, But Keaton didn't, like, floor me with his performance. It wasn't, like, it felt like he could have gotten further into that character's head. And I don't know. I just don't know if I see a trophy for it, for him. I mean, he's good in it. I won't say that he's not, but he's outshined by the supporting roles. Ed Norton is fantastic in it. Emma Stone is really, really good in it. Amy Ryan with a smaller part, Naomi Watts. You know, there's a lot of good actors in this film, and Zach Galifianakis, I think, really stole the show whenever he was on screen as his lawyer. And like I said, I liked Keaton. I really felt like all the performances were really good, but I don't know. I don't see a statue for it necessarily. I don't necessarily feel that it warrants one. I wish that Keaton had gone further into that character's head. But what blew me away about the film was its writing, this whole kind of just theater of the absurd. I love that kind of thing where it's just kind of these random things, like he can control stuff with his mind and stuff like that. It gives it this really kind of surreal, otherworldly quality that kind of makes you a little bit more omniscient, pulls you out of the film a little bit, lets you kind of live over the top of it. I really, really liked that. And I gotta say, my favorite part of the film, I mean, of course, they buried cuts in all the transitional shots, but was just a 2-hour straight shot. You know, it was meant to be just a completely seamless 2-hour shot without jarring cuts. And that really lets you invest in these characters. It really lets you get invested in the story and invested in their world, because you're not cutting away to all sorts of different stuff. I absolutely loved the approach. I would easily give Birdman probably a 9 out of 10. I absolutely loved it. Fantastic, fantastic film. But that'll turn us to the other film I saw over the weekend, which, of course, is the one that won the box office, of course. Mockingjay, Part 1, which was exactly what it promises to be. It was Part 1. And every other Part 1 or Part whatever movie I've seen, minus Desolation of Smaug, because it did it too, but it drops, it's all rising action. The entire film is rising action, and then nothing. And the first, I think, Part 1, Part 2 film I ever saw, before I had seen any of the other films in the franchise, mind you, was Harry Potter 7 Part 1. Deathly Hallows Part 1, which is half of a whole story, I'll give you that, but they still did a great job of taking Part 1 and making it its own film, with a beginning, middle, and end. Okay, and that's what Mockingjay doesn't have. It's all rising action. It's all this continued build-up, and we've already had 2 films of just this kind of underlying surge, this rebellion that's slowly churning its way up and churning its way up. But again, it just stops abruptly. And if I had anything negative to say about the film, it's that. I went in there and it's a complete letdown. It just ends right as the action really starts to rise up, and right as that cauldron starts to bubble, and right as everything really starts to get there. So we're in for an explosive Part 2. And viewed as a whole, 1 4-hour film, it's going to be a great viewing experience. There's a lot of great character work in this, particularly for Katniss, somewhat for Peeta. You know, there's a lot of great stuff in the film. It's just, if you're going to take our money like this, because studios are going to keep doing it if these films keep making bank, even though this one did finish far below Catching Fire's totals when it was released. But if you're going to keep taking our money like this, you've got to adapt this stuff, and you've got to make a film out of it. You can't, a story follows this structure, a plot arc. You know, it can't all just be this. It can't all just be the rising action, and that's all it was. It's a solid 7 out of 10. I'm sure when I view it as a whole, I'll love it. You know, so that's pretty much it for this episode of the Roundup. Tune in next time. Hopefully I'll get out to the theater a couple times coming up soon. Obviously, I'll be talking about the Star Wars trailer when I finally get a chance to get my eyes on that. We've got Battle of the 5 Armies coming up in December. I'll be seeing that in 48 FPS 3D, which, for all the haters out there, I'm sorry, it looks beautiful. You got to just see it on a real screen. That's all. And many, many more. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think about everything I've talked about and more. Drop it down in the comments section. And let me know if there's other stuff that I might have missed that you also want to hear me talk about or want my opinion on. This is Epic Film Guy Nick here for Epic Film Guy Justin at the New York studio. We'll see you next time.